So Sony has just dropped some information about the PlayStation 5 today at their corporate strategy meeting. Wasn't a keynote, wasn't a direct of any kind, so we don't have all the specs, we don't have all the details, the bells and whistles. But what they did showcase was the performance. And I gotta tell you, it's knockin' futz. This thing is a beast. At this conference, they show you Spider-Man on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 Pro side by side, and you will see how much faster it is. It is a significant difference. On the PlayStation 5, it boots the game in under a second. And the PlayStation 4 Pro loads it in 8 seconds. That's a lifetime. So this is the crazy thing. They talked about the solid state drives and how it's going to reduce the load time. And they also talked about how it's going to allow faster rendering, which means environmental objects, buildings, textures, all that stuff will just populate a lot faster in the game. Now, as a developer, that is going to mean a whole lot, because that means you can do a lot of crazy things with your console because the power is going to be there, which is just going to allow better experience for gamers. So we're going to see a huge shift, I think, in the software industry with this kind of hardware on the market. Now, they didn't talk about when this is going to be released. We know they're not going to be at E3. Sony will not be at E3 this year. That means we're not going to have any more updates about the PlayStation 5 for a couple of weeks. It could be a couple of months. But we will have some information when they're ready. And I appreciate that. They're not going to rush this. It's not going to be a quick bust it out the window so we can hurry and show it. So they will have their own separate direct that will showcase the PlayStation 5 when it's ready. We don't know when it will be released. All that they mentioned was that it will not release in the next fiscal year, which means it won't launch April 2020 at the soonest. They said it's going to have an appealing price point, which is crazy because Sony's notorious for expensive consoles. I remember when PlayStation 3 came out, the standard model was $600 or $700, and that was outrageous because all the other consoles were half that price. So for them to say that it's going to have an appealing price point given its specs, it's going to be a big deal. I think they're really going to try and get more people to pick up a PlayStation. PlayStation 4 has had an amazing runtime. It's going on 6 years. So many people, they've sold almost 100 million units, I think, by the end of this year is what they're projecting. And I think that they're going to try and match that with the PlayStation 5. I think that they have realized that the money is not in the hardware, but in the software. And Sony has really proven themselves to release magnificent content over these 6 years. And I think they're only going to continue to do so. So that's all the information that we have about the PlayStation 5. Not a lot of details, except how fast this thing is. It's going to be a beast. And it's kind of cool to mention that this is just the dev kit. They still have optimization to do on the hardware. They could even sneak in a couple of different specs before the final product. This is just the dev kit, which means it's not the final product and it can have a lot more room for improvement. Google showcased Stadia, and I think that that's going to have significant load times as well. So how do you guys think that that's going to compare with the PlayStation 5? You guys let me know what you think in the comments below.